Thank you for stopping by. We truly appreciate your time and support. Whether you're here for the first time or coming back, it means a lot to have you with us on this journey. There's always something new to discover. Now let's go and get to where we want to get to.
If you're trying to get back with your ex, this is the one thing you absolutely have to know in order to make the right moves. Yes, there actually is scientific data around this topic. Social psychologists are very much interested in relationships and why people break up and why they decide to get back together. So the thing that you absolutely have to know is what that person's attachment style is, the attachment style of your ex. It doesn't hurt to know yours either, because attachment style predicts exactly how people will proceed through a breakup. Like in a scary, accurate way. Attachment science has been around since the 1950s, and it's been studied in thousands of empirical studies. So let's just say, for example, that this person has broken up with you. Okay, there may be many of you out there that mistakenly broke up with somebody and expected them to chase you, and now you're stuck with this breakup. I'll make another video on that if that's you. But let's just say they ended it with you. You know, they just said, I don't want this anymore. This isn't for me. It was great, but wish you the best. Knowing their attachment style is going to predict exactly why they broke up with you. So if your ex has anxious, preoccupied attachment, they probably broke up with you because you weren't meeting their needs for reassurance, love, and affection in a way that felt good to them. If your partner was fearful avoidant, it's because you were inconsistent enough in the relationship and you may have done something that sort of crossed their boundaries that they felt like they couldn't trust you. So you were either inconsistent or you considerably crossed their boundaries on a number of occasions. If your ex is dismissive avoidant, it's because they felt too much pressure around commitment and around meeting your needs, and they didn't feel like they could meet them effectively. They were going into their need to pursue their autonomy and independence. Attachment theory also predicts how long each person will stay in the different stages of a breakup. So if they broke up with you and they are anxious, preoccupied, the relief stage lasts about 5 seconds. They probably never wanted to break up with you in the first place. It's just that they tried and tried and tried to get their needs met, and you consistently under-delivered for them. So they would be very happy to hear that you've realized this and you want to work on making changes, and you can contact them right away and let them know that you realize that you haven't met their needs and that you want to do the work to figure out how to meet their needs.
Given the extraordinary scenario, the answer is quite simple. But do you want to hand over the solution so quickly? Do you not want to play with the doctor's aptitude? Isn't it enough that you can get the same answers without paying for them? There is only two probabilities here. One, you let the doctor guide you, and in the midst of that, partake in a financial exchange. Or two, you avoid the everlong relationship and tell the doctor not needed at this time and leave the exercise. Now that you understand both parts, all I can do is leave you to them and hope that you would make a solid choice. Because you have always chosen what you thought was fair, now we'll see what part two has to say.
If your ex is a fearful avoidant who leans to the anxious side, they're probably going to be in the relief stage for maybe 2 months max. They are going to want to reconcile with you, but they are also going to be really pulled back by this notion that they feel like deeply they can't trust you, and that is going to compete with each other on and off. So it's like, I really want this person, but I know I can't trust them. I really want this person, but they can't show up for me. I really want this person, but they cross my boundaries. If they're a fearful avoidant who leans to the dismissive side, they're going to be in the relief stage quite a bit longer, maybe even like 4 months, 5 months. They're going to be like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that anymore. They're going to shut down. They're going to go into their shell. And then after 5 months, they might start accessing their feelings for you. Dismissive avoidants are going to stay in the relief stage for 6+ months. And these are averages, folks. People aren't math problems, as another coach has always said, which I admire. People are not math problems, and we can't predict to the day when they will shift out of the relief stage. But what I can tell you is that if your partner was dismissive avoidant, they were craving their autonomy and their independence, and that was what was driving them to break up with you in the first place. There are subconscious fears around commitment, closeness, vulnerability, etc. And they are not going to be accessing their feelings. So what happens after the relief stage? After relief comes curiosity. What's he or she up to? What are they doing? Now, your ex may make a move in the curiosity stage, trying to reconnect with you. That does not mean they want to get back together, and it's important to remember that so that you don't lean into that too closely. We all know the best place to be after a breakup, if you've been following my channel, is no contact. But how no contact should be done and how long no contact should be done should absolutely depend on the attachment style of your partner. If your goal is to actually reconnect with them, you have to understand them on that level.
Now that we have part 2, it is important to understand how you are thinking of coming back to your partner. You see, after reviewing most of the parable, it comes to mind the effects of what will happen. Because the truth is, only one side is being given to you, and you want to understand the morality side. So I will just tell you, once the companions end their journey the first time, it will be very difficult to regain the love and closeness they once had. Sure, the probability will be there, but it will eventually go away again. And there will not be a consoling second time. Always consider the second side. It may be dismal, but it will be the truth. So now you know. You can make a decision with what she has given you or make a choice with what you've learned today.
A few things we did to make it work, aka how we got back together after a breakup to now being happily engaged and planning a wedding. The first thing we did when we made the decision, okay, we're gonna try to make this work, is we made the commitment to ourselves and to each other to actually make this work because relationships take effort. So we took a look at the old relationship and we're like, where did we fail? What went wrong? And we figured out ways to improve, and we gave each other the time and space to express what we weren't getting, what was going wrong in the old relationship, and what we need in this new one. So for example, communication, we had to improve and make it like 10 times better. We had to understand what each of our needs were and really communicate it and give examples so that the other person could fulfill it. We also had to forgive and let go of the past and not see each other for the old breakup, and we had to heal, we had to move on, and we couldn't like throw it in each other's faces. Like we drew a line in the sand and we're like, okay, we're going to make this work and we're going to do whatever it takes. We learned more about ourselves and why we behave the way we do, like our attachment styles, our love languages, so we could better communicate to each other. We made sure our values and life visions were in alignment. And the biggest part was we created strong, healthy principles to build a new strong foundation in this relationship, because it was a completely new relationship that we were working on. It took a lot of time, it took a lot of effort, it took a lot of going out on dates and getting to know each other again and having a lot of fun. But day by day, we built this new relationship and we felt madly in love again after knowing each other for 9 years. And like that spark is still there.
Decisions, they come when you least expect them. Unfortunately, you don't know when it is that you must make one. You must understand that decisions take up an enormous amount of time, and to follow one is the same as not to follow it. In this case, we have a couple who has made a conscious choice to follow their path one more time. They're investing the guidance of proper principles. They're setting up the motivation to follow a way of life. They have several fundamentals that will work for them. It isn't the fault of the decision, more so the activity it's been placed on. Nevertheless, the confidence that the couple needs is very strong. Let it play out and see what happens throughout their life. Thank you for your valuable time today. It is our choice that we spend this time together. While you may or may not see some of these videos for what they are, always remember, these are only two choices that are given to us to make our best decision. We don't know whether they're winners or losers, no one does. It is simply an abstract thought, helping to make you think. Thanks again.